Marco Rubio was on Face the Nation and he was ambushed a little bit by this journalist trying to paint Israel as the bad guy. And he gave her a little bit of moral clarity. Check it
The
out.
president says he wants to end wars, but Israel's prime minister has said he is expanding this ground operation inside of Gaza. The IDF says is to seize strategic areas. Does the U.S. fully support expanding this war?
We expand the destruction of Hamas, the ending of Hamas. We support a future for the people of Gaza that is free of Hamas and full of opportunity. That's what we support. And this is a group that came across on October 7th and carried out one of the most vile series of attacks, kidnappings, rapes, murders, and hostage taking that we've ever seen. That's what we support. Now, that said, we also support an end to the conflict, a ceasefire. We don't want people obviously suffering as they have, and we blame Hamas for that, but nonetheless, they're suffering. And so we are actively engaged, even as I speak to you now, we are actively engaged in trying to figure out if there is a way to get more hostages out through some ceasefire type mechanism. We're not going to do anything to undermine Israel and its security, but by the same token, if there is a possibility here to find a way forward that frees more hostages, including those who are alive, but also the bodies to their relatives, and potentially bring about an end to this war in a way that puts the people of Gaza on a pathway of peace and prosperity and being free of Hamas, we're going to explore that. We think we've made some progress, but there's more work to be done. Ambassador Witkoff is working on that on an hourly basis. It's something we're all very focused on and continue to be very supportive of. And I hope we'll have good news soon in that regard, but I think some impediments remain.
Are you asking Israel to slow down this military push? And the Qatari prime minister told Fox News that there was a deal being put together for all hostages or many hostages to be released after Idan Alexander, that American Israeli, was released recently. But then the Israeli military bombed a hospital, killing 70 civilians, and everything went sideways.
Basically, she's asking him, are you going to force Israel to surrender to Hamas? And he gives her a little bit of a fact check here. Check it out.
Is that your understanding of what
Well, I would
happened?
say
It was
that
this lack of care of collateral damage?
No, the way I would characterize it is that this war could end immediately, and Israel's made that clear. It could end immediately if Hamas surrenders and gives up their weapons and demilitarizes and releases all the hostages, including the deceased ones. They did that, this conflict would end. That's been true from the very beginning. It's been true for months now. They're the ones that have chosen not to accept that offer. That said, we continue to work and do everything we can through diplomatic channels and private means to bring about an end to this conflict in a way that ends Hamas and provides the people of Gaza the opportunity at a prosperous and peaceful future. That also ensures Israel's security. So we're working on that. We've never stopped working on that. We've never stopped taking efforts to make that possible, and that continues. Even as I speak to you now, there are people working on that. So we're going to continue to do that, and that's the outcome we want to see, and hopefully the sooner the better.
Well, the president has said Prime Minister Netanyahu didn't want to end the war. So the views are quite
well. I think what the president's I think what the president is saying is he doesn't want to end the war until Hamas is defeated. This is a group that is a threat. If an ember survives, it will spark again into a fire, and that is the view of. There is no future. There can be no peaceful and prosperous Gaza as long as Hamas governs it by rule of arms, and that's a fundamental truth. Now, that doesn't mean that there isn't some way that we can achieve that through a ceasefire and some peace mechanism. And that's what we're trying to accomplish here. Ending Hamas, ending its governance of Gaza, ending the conflict, freeing all of the hostages, including the bodies of those who have passed away and been killed and murdered by the Hamas terrorists, and then beginning the work of a future for Gaza and also of ensuring Israel's security. That's always been our goal. That remains our goal. And that's what we continue to be focused on. But in the absence of such agreement, we anticipate that Israel will continue forward with their operations, but that doesn't mean we stopped working on trying to achieve a peaceful outcome that also protects Israel's security and ends Hamas's governance of Gaza so that Gaza can have a free and prosperous future moving forward. That's what the president wants to see as the end goal here. That is the end goal, and that's what we're working on through every means at our disposal.
Wow, you can tell she's trying everything she can to drive a wedge between the U.S. and Israel, and Marco Rubio is having none of that. For more, you can subscribe to our new channel, Western Pulse. You can also go to buymeacoffee.com/Jewish Uncensored to support us now more than ever because we got demonetized on our main channel. Hopefully, we will get that back soon and we'll keep you updated. Thank you for watching and have a good one.